Right. Good afternoon, everyone, and very warm welcome to Hive Medical Academy, another webinar. These webinars are series of our sport guidance and awareness for international medical graduates. So today's webinar, we're going to discuss life as a junior doctor in the NHS. And this is a very important topic. And people who have joined us now and who never seen our previous webinars, please go on our social media, especially on the YouTube, and watch other series of other episodes of our webinar, which will be very, very helpful for your PLAB journey from your home to the UK NHS. So in today's webinar, as I mentioned, life as a junior doctor in the UK in the NHS. So we have got our very special guest, one and only Dr. Omar, who is academic lead and co-founder of Hive Medical Academy. He graduated from Liverpool University. He has been working in NHS more than 2 decades. He has been examiner. He has been a mentor, clinical supervisor, educational supervisor, medical student tutor, and teacher, and he is the lead of PLAB courses at High Medical Academy. So over to you, Dr. Omar. Let's talk about today's topic, life as a junior doctor in the NHS.
Good afternoon, Dr. Skill. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining and everyone listening online. So we picked a great topic today. It's one of the things that personally for me is I remember as being one of the best times, certainly in terms of my career. And it is something that is a source of anxiety for a lot of people, people who at the end of the day have committed many, many years to working, studying, and preparing for a career in medicine, to be surrounded by such negativity, um, and to see the pictures of junior doctors striking and to hear the politicians talking about the junior doctors and to hear, and to listen to IMGs and speak to IMGs who want to work in the NHS, but they're unsure. It's very sad that there's lots of negativity around it. So it's a great topic to pick. And I think it's good to have an open and honest conversation about what are the what are the good things about junior doctor years and what are the challenges, just to give people an idea of what it is like. So personally, for me, I will always remember it as one of the most exciting and fun times of my career. It's scary as well. Your first on call, your first night shift, your first ill patient. But it's something that you worked for a very long time. And it's your chance, it's your chance to shine really. But I will remember it for great experiences. I and great friends in the team that we were as foundation year. So I did the foundation year program 2 years and then continued junior doctor training for 3 years as a GP trainee. So I did my foundation year in a district general hospital. So it wasn't a very big, teaching hospital with lots and lots of students and thousands of doctors. It was a smaller, more friendly, much more compact place. That made a difference. It was very welcoming. Everybody knew everybody. You could stop a consultant in the corridor and ask a question. That's how friendly it was, even if you didn't know who they were. So there were lots of great teams, lots of IMGs around, not in my particular foundation year group, but in the hospital, throughout the hospital, more senior doctors, registrars, even consultants. And I remember them as such hardworking and talented people, who had obviously worked very hard to get there. And there was no real difference between anybody. There was great camaraderie between all the medics, all the health professionals. In fact, it was a real team. It was like a family. Everybody was supporting everyone. And there was, I really honestly, apart from obviously there's some funny experiences and things that you remember and laugh now, but overall it was such a supportive environment. But there are certain things, that you'll never forget. like I said, the first time I had to confirm death for a patient, I still remember how, that sickening feeling in my stomach, because I'd never seen a dead body before. Or the first time I had to go and see a sick patient on call, and that feeling of thinking, oh my gosh, now I have to put everything into practice now. What if I don't know what I'm doing? What if I don't, there's lots of anxieties going through your head. Your first night shift, and I mean, I remember once, this was as I slept through 9 bleeps from the same from the
Yeah.
same team
Yeah.
trying to wake me up. And I wasn't. This was not in medicine. Obviously, you can't go to
Yeah.
sleep in medical on calls. Um, and waking up and realizing that you missed 9 bleeps, and then running down, and and being scared of being told off, and having to kind of distract from when they were asking you, where were you, and all this kind of thing. But or other things like that. I once cannulated a brachial artery instead of a.
I know.
So
I
I was
know.
putting a cannula in somebody. This was in A&E,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, this is like, it's so. Why is it so hard to go in? I don't
Yeah.
understand. And anyway, I got it in, and as soon as I, kind of let go of the cannula, the blood was
Flush of
squirting
blood
across
came
the
out.
room. I just realized what had happened, quickly took it out and sat there for 10 minutes pressing on his arm. So there's so many, good memories. Um, but I think overall, what it felt like was that you're part of something great.
Yeah.
This big institution that is so respected, and does so much for people and people's lives, and to be a small part of that is such an honor. And I think that's despite all the negativity, despite all the talk and the social media and the podcasts, and there's no jobs and this and that, it's important to remember that this, you really are, it's such an honor to be in this profession and to be trusted by people to look after them. And that's my overarching memory. But I think, Dr. Skill, your experience, obviously having been an IMG yourself, I was a local graduate, so
Yeah.
I had challenges, but they were not to do with
Yeah.
culture or language or fitting in or anything. So, how was yours? How was your
Yeah,
experience?
yeah, we will come to that. I will
Yeah,
explain everything to my journey when I started in
sure.
NHS. But before that, I just want to know a bit more. This is very good. You share your personal experience, and this
Yeah,
is very good because these are the things which are true, rather than
yeah,
people who are listening the rumors and the people are saying the NHS environment is not good, there is no sport. So, would you please explain a bit more the sport you had during your when you were doing your foundation program,
yeah,
the guidance, the
yeah,
teamwork, and
yeah,
how much you were supported throughout your training process. Because this is
yeah.
one thing which we need to highlight because the
Mm,
people still think that the junior doctor's life is a hell in the
mm,
NHS, which is absolutely wrong. So we
yeah,
need to give this information. So just share, what sort of sports you had when you did your foundation program and even afterwards, and how did you feel working
yeah,
there?
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, really good point. We had lots and lots of support. So obviously, even from, I mean, the first day when we all came, and we were doing induction, obviously everybody was in the same boat. So you're all, you're all starting fresh. You're all anxious, but we had in place, every rotation that you joined, you had
Mhm.
your clinical supervisor, who was
Mhm.
your consultant. So, he or she was always, there, and very, very experienced, obviously, in looking after junior doctors, knowing about the challenges, knowing how to take them through. Some of them have been there for decades doing this thing. So you always felt safe in that sense. And between you and the consultant, even all the middle grades, all the other juniors, even though some of them changed around, or some of them, would rotate, some are staff grades, some
Mhm.
have been there for as long as the consultant and would be just as experienced as the consultant. So you never felt alone, on the ward, or on in your clinical duties. And as I said, personally, because I went to a district general hospital, there was even more of a family feel to it, because everybody knew everyone. But then in addition to that, you also had your foundation program director, and everybody who who was part of the foundation school in that hospital. And so they, I still remember some of the admin staff who was so friendly, and the foundation program director himself, who who had one-to-one conversations many times, and then not to forget all of the wonderful team members who are on the wards, especially the nurses. I have to give a special mention to the nurses who, to be honest, if you think about it from their point of view, they've been in this place for years, decades even, and then sometimes, every 4 months, some hot shot comes along who thinks he's the next, he or she is the next big things and knows everything, and they know a lot more than you. They've been there a lot longer than you. And if you treat them with respect and nicely as the way you should, then they are so helpful and so so accommodating and make you feel really safe, which is what you need in them first few days and weeks. So it's there are multiple levels of support, both academic, both clinical, and pastoral, for yourself as a person. How are you coping? All of these things, even the little things like somebody offering to make you a cup of tea when you or to get you a drink, or asking you to have a seat and have a rest, when they can see that things are really crazy for you. So it's like a family. I can, there's no other way of describing it, really.
Okay, so I completely agree. And when I'll share my experiences, when I started as a junior doctor, I felt amazingly fine, like a part of the team.
Yeah.
Another question, the doctors, they are under the, impression, especially the IMGs, they think that, oh my God, we have to work long hours. We have to work 20 hours, 24 hours, long shifts. There's no sport available. There's nothing. And you don't get enough money as well, end of the day. I completely know and completely understand this is a myth and this is a rumor. It is not like that. NHS is one of the biggest employer and one of the best organization in the world. So it can't happen in that one. But would you mind to just explain to especially for the IMGs, what was the working hours when you were and what's now working hours, and are they well paid, all the junior doctors?
So I was actually part of the cohort that was there. We were obviously foundation years, so we weren't the pre-reg house officers or senior house officers like the time when you came. I came slightly later, so we were foundation year. But during that time that I was a junior, there was a transition from whatever the regulations were before, and I'm not sure what entirely they were, to then European Working Time Directive coming in, and it making things a lot easier in terms of, although actually we personally didn't really like it when that happened, because when we did nights, we used to do 7 nights in a row.
7 nights,
When we had on calls, we would regularly be there for 12 hours, and then sometimes 13 hours or 14 hours, depending on, unfortunately, if you got stuck with the patient, you had a duty to fulfill, and you didn't want to hand over somebody halfway through to the next guy who's going to be there for the next 12 hours. So you took things on yourself. I think it's part of the way medics are and the way they are trained, that ultimately you're there to look after the patients, and you take responsibility. Obviously, you have to balance that with your own needs and your need for rest and recovery and all of that thing. But I never did more than 7 nights in a row. So I'm talking about the actual foundation year training. Obviously any additional shifts you did, that was your own choice. But I never did more than 7 nights in a row. I was never there for, longer than 13, 14 hours at a time. And nowadays, with the European Working Time Directive, which came in whilst I was a junior doctor, I think it was whilst I was doing GP training. Now you can't be there for longer than 11 hours in one go. And you can't do 7 nights in a row. You have to do 3 and 4 split. So things are actually even better now in terms of, for the junior doctors, in terms of their hours, in terms of their working commitments, and the guys on every generation will say, oh, you guys have got it so easy now, because the guys before us used to say, I used to start on a Friday morning and I used to finish work on Monday morning. We used to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then finish work on Monday. So, it was, of course, it's hard. There are some long hours, but I think on average we were working. I think currently now I think it's 48 hours a week. I think
Yeah.
you're supposed to work an average of 48 hours a week, which if you think about it, really is not much more than what somebody who's doing a 9 to 5 will do.
Yeah.
And so you get plenty of time in between. Yes, if you're doing a weekend and then you're doing the week before and the week after, you're working like 9 days in a row. Or you're working you're working 12 days in a row. But you get plenty of time off in between. In terms of
Yeah.
the pay, I mean, of course, if you start getting pernickety and look total all your hours you spend in the hospital and then divide it down and look at it per hour, then it might not look so good because that's what people do these days.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, if you compare yourself to a new graduate in other
Yeah.
fields,
Yeah.
then you're much better off because your
Yeah.
starting wage is actually much better. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is exactly nowadays. You might know it's over
Yeah.
30
Almost
over
40,000.
30K.
Yeah. Almost 40,000
Yeah,
is
so
gone.
for
And
somebody who's
yeah.
just in their first job,
Yeah.
that's really good. And you can't sometimes think you can't you know want to be a medic and then also want to not have to put some of the shifts in because ultimately that's part of
Yeah.
it's part of the career.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so there was plenty of rest, there was plenty of support. The pay, I didn't, when I started as a junior doctor, I didn't think, oh, my pay's low. Not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I don't know if things are different, but that's just maybe things have changed. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
No, I absolutely agree with you. And the pay for, especially for IMGs, this is
Yeah,
far
exactly.
more than what they are earning in their country. So it's a
Exactly.
brilliant future, best training. And I would say, that today's the training, especially after MMC in 2007, the junior doctor training is just a luxury.
Yeah.
You have got
Yeah.
so much sport, and you have got so much leave, annual leave, study leave, sick leave
Mm,
paid, and then you have got 1/2 day you get for your appraisal, one
yeah.
half day you get for
Teaching.
CPD, then you have for teaching. So you work only 3.5 or 4 days in a week. You don't have to do, like for 7 nights, you don't need to work more than 12 hours. You have got teams coming. The life in before when I joined the NHS, it was different. It was tough, especially coming from, international medical graduate and getting into the system, understanding the system. The biggest fear was the bleep, especially when you become the medical SHO. The
Yeah.
medical SHO on call during nights is like a nightmare
Yeah.
because all nights you'll be running from one corridor to the other corridor of the hospital, from one ward to another ward, from medical ward, surgical ward. Then A&E SHO consultant will be bleeping you, where are you, doctor? We have got so many patients waiting for you to be clerk. And if you're a little bit late, okay, the consultant say, have you gone for a drink? Are you sleeping? Come on, you have to see the patient. And those days, you're doing 7 nights together.
Mm.
And after working 7 nights, your sleep pattern completely get disturbed. And after 7 nights, when you come home, sometimes family don't recognize you, you don't recognize them. What you, where you
That's
coming,
right. Yeah.
where you coming from?
Yeah. That's true.
So it was a tough, but these days this is far better. The junior doctor training is a luxury. They have got educational supervisor, clinical supervisor. They don't have to work. Every 4 hours, somebody will ask the doctor go and have a break.
Mm.
That's it. And they are making much more a very good amount of the money as compared to any other profession which you could get in. And the plenty of sport and the benefits, unlimited benefits while they're working in the NHS. Either they want to count their study courses, study leave pay, their annual leave, they want to buy a new house, they want to buy a car, they want to get any loan, anything, they want to bring their parents here. They're unlimited and NHS pension, one of the best pension in the world. So before, when we were working, the beauty of our profession, as said, when you're so much tired after 12-hour shift or 14-hour shifts, obviously you can't, when the worst thing was when you are about to finish, and your arrest blip goes off, and you have to run everything. Oh my God. But still, the patient care comes first. We
Yeah.
all put the patient first. This is what the beauty of our profession.
Mm.
But even after 12-hour, 14-hour, or 16-hour shift, when somebody comes to you, the patients or relative, they say, "Thank you, doctor. You saved my husband's
Exactly.
life. You saved my mom's life. Thank you for everything what you did." So all
Yeah.
your tiredness, all your, exhaustion, everything that goes away. This is
Uh,
the beauty of, this is our profession. The MMC, yes, it brought the revolution in NHS and medical training in the UK. I always thought one thing was missing. Like before, they didn't have the proper training. We have a PRHO, HO, SHO. But after MMC, they had like proper GPVTS training, and they had a proper foundation program, year one, year two, and then specialty training programs, IMTs, all those. Before, they didn't have. This brought the revolution. One thing was missing, which I think, when the sport awareness and the empowering network for the international medical graduates.
mm,
And that was the reason the international medical graduate, there are still, there are so many rumors. I speak to international medical graduates on daily basis. There are so many doctors still, they think that, oh, there are no jobs. Oh, working in the NHS is not worth. Oh, training is very hard. Oh, PLAB is very hard. But I think uh, I would like you to explain about your Global Medics NHS program. I believe this Global Medics NHS program has filled that gap for the international medical graduate. The information, the support, everything they were lacking. So I think this program has filled that gap for them, and it will make their life much easier to get into the NHS. So just tell us a bit more about Global Medics NHS program, and tell us about, the some of the doctors they're worried about, like, oh, if I fail, how I'm going to take exam again? I have to pay again. What will happen? Where will get? So these two things are the top worries, concerns for the international medical graduates who want to start their life as a junior doctor in the NHS.
sure. And I think it's a really important point you make that you know that that training is fantastic in the UK, and there are initiatives, and organizations do try to look after IMGs, but ultimately until now it's mostly been done by IMGs themselves,
Hmm.
who have set up organizations, or who try to build a bit of a support network, which is fantastic, and it does, and they do really good work. But it's never been, I think it's never been a comprehensive kind of method of support which includes the academic side of things,
Yeah.
because there have been PLAB academies and things around for many years, decades, in fact, some of them, who've been there from the very beginning. And so that gap was not, was not always there. It was, it was, people were trying to address it.
Yeah.
But obviously through your journey, and through me having worked with IMGs, and also having gone through training and then become an examiner and all these kind of things, we it was interesting how we found that um the support that's being provided is not complete.
Hmm.
There are things being done by people who, yes, they've passed the PLAB exams, but they've never worked in the NHS.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's actually like to speak to a patient
Yeah.
in English fully, and
Yeah.
to try to solve their problems, and to try to think of them holistically. So there were problems on both sides of things, and how the Global Medics NHS program tries to help is it deals with the academic side of things. So that's every step that you need to be able to get to your NHS career. That includes your English
Hmm.
qualification, whether it's IELTS or OET, then the PLAB journey, which is obviously PLAB 1 and PLAB 2, but an extra step which nobody else does, and that's the post-PLAB
Yeah.
part of your journey, which, as I said, there's lots of people helping with PLAB, they do lots of good work, but then unfortunately, after somebody passes PLAB, they're left on their own,
Yeah.
and they don't have the guidance, they don't have
Yeah.
support, they don't know how to apply for a job, they don't know They don't even know about how do I look for a house? What do I,
Yeah.
what do how do I sort my CV out? I've never had done an interview in English before. How am I going to, so that there's that part of it that gets filled in as well. So, and along the way, you not only do you get support and preparation for each step, but you get personalized mentorship
Yeah.
from people who have gone through that journey. They know the challenges, they know the anxieties, they know what that person's
Mm.
feeling. They've been there, they've moved country,
Yeah.
they've had to go through all the difficulties and self-doubts and all that kind of thing, and been successful at it, and
Yeah.
then built a successful career. So you get a full academic support, you get full pastoral support, and
Mm.
there are even extra things in there, which include things like accommodation, airport pickup, all of the kind of small things that perhaps I wouldn't think of as a
Yeah.
local graduate. I wouldn't realize that this
Mm.
would be a big thing. I realize it when I go to another country.
Yeah.
How am I going to get to the hotel? Where am
Yeah.
I going to stay? But when it's the other way, sometimes you forget that
Yeah.
these are people going through the same kind of experience. So it's a comprehensive program, can be completed within 9 to 12 months from the start
Mm.
to the very end. And the final thing I want to say about it is that it's not a one-time only program. So if you join the program, you can complete each step as many times as you need. There'll be no extra charges, there'll be no hidden fees. Once you have joined, and we're there to help you to complete the program, no matter how many attempts it takes.
That sounds perfect. This is the sort of the one-stop solution for all the international medical graduates, and it provides everything they need to pass their exam and start their career in the NHS. And most important thing, they will get the support guidance from the people who have got the experience, from the people who know
Exactly.
everything. Not like somebody who never worked in NHS. It will be hard for them to give information. And most of the rumors and most of the people they're saying these things, I would recommend them, they must ask them how long they worked in the NHS and go for the facts. Like, if we see today the GMC workforce report in 2024, that's at 52% are international medical graduates running the NHS. And this demand is increasing. 5 to 6 vacancies in each hospital. And most importantly, the demand is huge for the doctors, and especially for international medical graduates. GMC is taking PLAB 1 exam 4 times a year. The soon they announce the date, exam dates, they get filled immediately. Then GMC
Yeah.
taking PLAB 2 every day, morning, afternoon session. And there's a huge demand. So how you're going to summarize today's session, like life of a junior doctor in the UK, anybody sitting anywhere, any corner of the world, and he's thinking of a career in the NHS, what are the important things, what he will get it, and what he should think about it, and how he should start his journey?
Okay. So I think obviously if you are sat in your own country somewhere and you have this desire or you have a dream to have a new adventure, a new experience, or make a better life for yourself, better than what you think you can do wherever you are, then you must think of the UK and you must think of the NHS. As we've said, multiple times, it's one of the biggest employers in the world. It's one of the most prestigious healthcare systems in the world. And despite all the negativity and despite all the things you will see and hear and read on the news and on the social media, it still performs miraculously every single day, 365 days a week, 24 hours a day,
Yeah,
without failure,
yeah,
without any pause, without any stop, whether it's
mm,
Christmas, Eid,
yeah,
Diwali, whatever,
anything.
New
Yeah,
Year's, doesn't matter.
yeah,
And that's all free at the point of access
yeah,
for 70 million people.
yeah,
So, if that's something that inspires you and you want to be part of that, and why wouldn't you? And you want to have these exciting times and,
mm,
and see a new place and have new adventures, then think of the NHS. And if you think of the NHS and the UK, then automatically think of Hive Medical Academy. Because as we said, we've been there, we've done that, we've got the t-shirt, we've got multiple t-shirts of what it's like from every angle, from the angle of an IMG, from the angle of a local graduate, from training, from junior doctor all the way through to senior clinician posts and examining and academic. So everything is covered. So if ignore the rumors, because naturally we human beings, we're attracted to news that is either distressing or upsetting or astonishing. It's not we won't be interested to there'll be very few people interested to learn about how miraculously the NHS performs 99% of the time. Nobody's interested in that. Everyone's interested in the problem, what happened, all of these things. So ignore that. Speak to people who have been through it, who have done it. Think of Hive, and you don't need to worry about which program, which course, any of these kind of things. Just get in touch, speak to us, have a conversation about what you want, and we'll see how we can help. And the rest, I think you can finish off with.
That sounds great, and this is the best advice and best, to summarize, what life of a junior doctor in the NHS is a luxury life that will take you towards the best things, best training. You can fulfill your dream and give you a stable life, and it comes with loads of millions of rewards and benefits. And that's perfect. And Hive Medical Academy, why they should join? Because Hive Medical Academy will hold their hand from the day one till they get job and even afterwards. And Hive Medical Academy, the people who are providing, they have got decades of experience, and they'll give you true evidence-based information to support, guide, and empower you. So this is why they should, anyone, any medical professional, any doctor, either they're first year students or final year or qualified doctor, anywhere in the world, if they're thinking of coming to the UK, think about Hive Medical Academy and join them. That sounds good. Now as you know, we have got loads of questions. People ask us from all over the world, from our social media. We got some emails. We got so many WhatsApps about the question. So I'm going to go through all those questions one by one. We have got Dr. Devraj, and he is asking about PLAB success program. So he's saying, what is your PLAB success program? I'm a fourth year medical student, and is it for me? So if you want to give some more information
Sure.
about it, yeah.
So the PLAB Success Program is kind of the little sister of the GMNP. I think that's probably a good way to describe it. PLAB Success Program is for anybody who is either in medical school or already graduated, and they are interested in an NHS career, and they need help and support with their journey. So it covers the English qualification, PLAB 1, PLAB 2, and post-PLAB career support. And the beauty of the PLAB Success Program is, just like the Global Medics NHS program, is that you have no limit as to how many times you can access the course. So if you are a fourth year, that means maybe you want to get a bit of a feel of what PLAB, what the exams are like, what the level is like, what the guidelines are like. You can start in year 4, and you don't have to worry that I only have it for a year or 2 years or whatever. And you can start in year 4, and you can take 2 years, 3 years, doesn't matter how long you take. You can start that program and complete it in your own time without any limit. So fourth year, absolutely, it's for you.
Okay, thank you. We have got Dr. Priyanka, and she is saying that I just qualified. I just waiting for my FMG exam, but I'm thinking about the PLAB. Is GMP for me? Could I come join the GMP, or are there any special requirements for the GMP?
Sorry, what was
She is
which level
just
is she?
finished her degree.
All right, okay.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
qualified doctor, and she's taking her local exam,
All
but
right.
she's planning to come to UK. So is she's asking in other ways that am I eligible for
Yeah.
GMNP?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So for the Global Medics NHS program, and to start your PLAB journey, you need to be a medical graduate. So obviously she's done that already. You don't need to have any internship. You don't need to have any clinical experience in your own country. Obviously, if you have, that's good just for yourself and for your future. But if you don't, you can even join the Global Medics NHS program the day you get your medical degree. So absolutely, as soon as you've graduated, by all means, you are welcome to join, and you can start your journey starting with English.
Great. We have got Dr. Ahmed, and he dropped us message on WhatsApp. He's saying, I have passed my PLAB 1 and I'm looking for the PLAB 2. I came across your academy on the internet. So could you please tell me more about your PLAB 2 course in Manchester?
Yeah, so fantastic. So our PLAB 2 course, we run a face-to-face course in Manchester in the academy, and there are various options available. So you can attend a 2-day course, you can attend a 5-day course, or you can attend our full 10-day course, which can
Hmm.
also be supplemented by our online course as well, which is the best way to prepare because you then have all the resources available beforehand. You prepare that and then you attend the academy and you get 10 days of intense preparation, which goes through all of the high yield PLAB2 stations that you're likely to come across, all of the areas that are difficult for IMGs to do well in. Traditionally, they are difficult for them. And you get personalized feedback from myself and the other tutors who have NHS experience and experience of examining and supervising people. So plenty of options available. Depends on how much support you feel you need.
That's perfect. Good. Thank you. We have got Dr. Shazia. She's saying I have passed my PLAB 1 and I'm planning to come to UK end of October. Have you got any PLAB 2 mock test I could take or I could book and how I could book it?
Yeah. PLAB2 mock tests are also available and so you can access them or do them without even enrolling in any of the PLAB2 courses if you wish. Obviously, we'd advise that you do both together because that would be more comprehensive preparation. But if you want to just access the PLAB2 course, then you can do that. You can visit our website and you'll be able to see there that you can purchase the mock exams individually, or you can purchase multiple ones. And just recently as well, we've started offering them online too. So even if you are not physically in the UK, then you can get access to a PLAB2 mock examination.
That's good. That was my next question from Dr. Ankar Gupta. He was asking that, my flight is in December, but I want to take some online mock, PLAB 2 mocks. So could you help me? So
Yeah,
that's good.
definitely.
You
Yeah,
explained that.
we're
Yeah.
doing one tomorrow
Yeah.
for somebody, and then a couple over the next couple of weeks. So obviously there's a limitation to what you can do online, but we
Yeah.
still try to cover as much as we possibly can, and it's a good preparation before perhaps
Yeah.
either attending a course or maybe doing something face to face that you get an idea of what it would be like, and you still can learn a hell of a lot. So it's
Yeah,
worth it.
that sounds good. An online mock and online PLAB 2 course, that will be the good combination for them to learn and improve before they come to UK, especially Manchester. We have got Dr. Usma. She says, I am well senior, I'm in 50s and want
Hmm.
move to UK through the PLAB route. I'm thinking about it, but I have seen your website. I have seen your free resources. So could you tell a bit more about what sort of the free resources available on your website and
Yeah,
how
so
to access them?
Mhm. Yeah, so the free resources are made up of a variety of documents which are put together using the most up-to-date guidelines, and they cover all sorts of things from contraception guidelines to BLS, to antibiotic usage, and the resources are getting more and more every week because we're updating them all the time. In terms of how to access them, you just visit our website, look at the tab at the top, and I think it says something like PLAB2 quick or PLAB2 free prep
Yeah,
hub or
quick
something
hub.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Quick prep hub, something like that. And it's obvious, you just click on that and they're all available on that page for you.
that's good. We have got Dr. Snokshi, and she's saying I'm a junior doctor's representative, and I have got quite a few groups of doctors. I've seen your website, and I seen something that says earn and reward. Could you tell a bit more about it? How could I do that?
Yeah.
What's about
So
that? Yeah.
yeah, so that actually started because we used to get, and we still do, we get a lot of people saying, "Oh, I've come across your things, and I know somebody who is a doctor, and he's my son, or he's a nephew, or he's a friend." And they used to, put people in touch with us, to give them support. And so this idea really came from that if there seems to be we seem to be being found by people who are not medics or who know about people who need help with this journey. And so it was just a way of saying thank you to them. That everybody who comes to us through them, they will get a little reward for themselves. And again, if you visit our website, it will be visible right at the top, refer and earn or something like that. You can click on that and fill in the form and somebody will get in touch with you.
That's perfect. And we have got Dr. Mahesh, and he's saying that I have already joined some academy for the PLAB 2 course, but I'm not very happy. Have you got any booster courses, and what will happen once I have passed my PLAB 2? Because I've spoken to quite few people, and nobody told me about the post PLAB services. I have seen something on your website which looks great, but could you please tell a bit more details about it?
Yeah. So the first part of the question, around a PLAB2 booster course, we do have our 2-day course is our PLAB2 booster course, and that will be best for that. And obviously, we did one of these just last week, actually, this week rather. It's a very intense couple of days. We spent some time, deciding with the candidates which areas they needed help with, and then so it's a very flexible program, and then the 2 days were filled with and we covered so much of the whole PLAB, our normal PLAB 2 course in 2 days. So it's a really good idea if you want just a little bit of help, or you feel some areas are a problem, and you need some advice and support about that, then PLAB 2 day booster course is perfect. In terms of post PLAB help, um, you know, as we said, most places where you do your club course after you finish there, they don't offer anything else, for the rest of the journey, but we do. So from as soon as, even before you've sat your club 2 exam, you don't have to join after you've passed PLAB 2. But if you're already, you should already be thinking about your career and how you're going to apply and where you're going to apply and, how you're going to get a job. And so the PLAB 2, the post PLAB program covers all the parts that are essential for you to try to get a job. So you need to sort out your CV, you need to bring it up to scratch, you need to know how to make where to apply, which jobs to apply to, um, how to try to sell yourself through your CV, and then also you need to also prepare for interviews for when you are shortlisted, and we do mock interviews as part of the post PLAB program. So we help until you land that first job.
Great. And we have got Dr. Miriam. She's saying that, I have passed my PLAB 1. have applied for my visa, and I will be in UK soon. And what dates you have got available for your PLAB 2 course? Would you be able to accommodate me? She has got her exam on 15th of November.
Yeah. So currently we have we have a PLAB 2 course starting next week. So that's from the 20th. And then we also have a PLAB 2 course from the 3rd of November as well. So they
Mhm.
would both fit. And we've had this happen many times, and sometimes people have come to us just, a few days before their exam, and we've managed to squeeze them in and deliver a course and give them support. So it doesn't matter which dates you feel, or if you think that, that there could be a problem, don't worry about it. If you need some help and support, just get in touch and we'll be able to help you, I'm sure.
Perfect. Thank you. We have got Dr. Abdullah. He is from Egypt, and he's saying that he passed his English test, very good, and wants to start preparation for PLAB 1 course. He said that I have seen so many online courses, but I'm thinking of having some live classes. So I've seen something on your website. Could you tell me a bit more about your live classes and how it will work?
Yeah, so live classes are again something that we've delivered recently. It's something that we've just recently started. The advantage of a live class is that instead of just completing the online program and watching a video lecture without being able to interact with the lecturer or clarify things, you can actually interact with the person who's delivering the lecture, and you can get that bit of extra support if you feel that you struggle with certain concepts, or if you feel that you need some help with understanding certain parts of the curriculum. They are very, very flexible, and they can be delivered. You can receive between 2 and 4 hours per week of live classes over many weeks or even many months if you so wish. So again, as always, if you're interested, just get in touch and have a conversation, and we'll be able to help.
That's perfect. Just the last question because I have mixed up all the questions. So you have answered most of the questions. Dr. Wakas from Pakistan, he is asking that if I join your PLAB 1 premium package, what will happen next? Are you going to give me some schedule, planner, and total my PLAB journey, how long it will take, and would you support me throughout my journey?
Yeah, so if you've joined the PLAB 1 premium package, then what will happen is you will have a call with myself. We'll discuss. I want to learn a little bit about yourself. When you graduated, what kind of clinical experience you have, any preparation you've done already, and what your own thoughts are about your strength and your weak areas. And then after that call, we will send you a detailed planner, which will guide you into how to plan your studies over either 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, or however long you have until your PLAB 1 exam. So you can do it within 2 or 3 months, if you have a lot of free time, or you might need slightly longer if you are working. The total journey, as we said, can be done within 9 to 12 months, from the beginning of IELTS all the way to the end, into securing a job.
Perfect. Just last question. Dr. Jenkin from Nigeria. He's in the UK. He said that I have passed my PLAB. Very well done, Dr. Jenkin. And I have been applying for the clinical attachment, and everybody says that it will be 6 to 12 months waiting. But my visa is expiring by 31st of December. Could you help me?
Yeah, absolutely. So clinical attachments, I forgot to mention actually as part of the post-PLAB program, it actually is part of the post-PLAB program. So it's one of the things I forgot earlier. But it can also be done separately as well. So, if you want full support in trying to secure a job, then clinical attachment is an important part of that because it gives you experience, a bit of an induction into the NHS. Doing exams is not the same as seeing how things work in real life. It will give you a couple of local referees as well, which is really important for applying for jobs. But if if you're interested in the full thing, then post-PLAB support is important. However, if you just want help with the attachment, then that's something that we can help with separately as well. We've helped people into both hospital attachments as well as general practice. We prefer general practice because actually the teams there are much smaller. They're much more used to dealing with people on a one-to-one basis. And the exposure you get there will be you encounter all problems, all specialties in a single day in general practice, and you get a good idea of how things work and how primary care, secondary care communicates, and how everything is coordinated. So get in touch and we'll sort one out.
That's good. That's great. Perfect. Thank you. I think that was all the answering question session. And if we could summarize today's session, life of a junior doctor in the NHS, we say it's a luxury life. If you're thinking of, do think and join it. Another beauty is Hive Medical Academy because they hold their hand from the day one till end. And according to all the questions you answer, Hive Medical Academy providing everything they need, from passing their exams, from post-collapse to the sport, clinical attachment, which is no other academy in the UK providing clinical attachment. So we provide guaranteed clinical attachment. So it sounds a perfect plan, especially like Global Medics NHS program. So thank you so much, Dr. Umar, for joining us
Thank you.
today. And please, people, whoever doctors watching us, stay tuned. We will be doing another seminar soon. We'll be providing all the awareness, all the information, support to empower international medical graduates. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.